Hello.
It's good to sit here and talk with you.
I'm super excited to be here.
Good, good. We're glad to have you. Well, first things first, we have to ask you, is your name Jill Bunny?
Yes, it is.
All right.
It is legally Jill Bunny. It obviously wasn't what I was born with. My real last name, I guess, when I was born was Pasma. And as soon as I opened up my company, I went with Fit Bunnies, and then people started calling me Bunny. And when I started competing, I had to use my legal name. And I didn't want that anymore, so best way to do it is legally change your name.
Yeah, wow.
And it's a lot of work, so I'll never change it back.
I'm sure.
It's a lot of work.
I'm sure. Well, that's cool. You talk a lot about women training women, and so tell me a little bit about that. Do you think that there's a better advantage of women training other women or men?
I'm a huge believer in women empowerment. I think that's one thing that might be lacking in society today. And so that's why I developed my company, is Women Training Women. And I truly do believe that a female training another female, we can connect with one another. Maybe more than a male and a female, because we can obviously write a great training program, a great nutrition plan. But what we have is the connection. Whether it's I understand how you emotionally get drawn to food, or emotionally with training, or maybe personally that you're going through a struggle and you want to confide in a female. So that's where I believe a great niche market is women being a community, being a family, and supporting one another in through fitness and health.
Because there's not a lot of women who actually train.
There's not a lot of women that train and want to train other women. And I found another thing was a lot of the time females bash one another because maybe they're jealous, or we tend to be really critical. So it's a great network that we've created, that we just support one another, and that's what we need to do in society today as females, is support one another rather than go negative.
Great. You also talk a lot about your happy place. So for Jill Bunny, what is your happy place?
Everybody knows it. My happy place is the stage. In the darkest moments before I competed, I didn't know, what made me happy. Maybe going to the lake, maybe going to the gym. I thought, yeah, the gym is my happy place. But as soon as I started competing, it was right backstage. So it's not when I walk on, it's the lights, you can hear it, you can hear the crowd, and you're just about to walk on stage and it's quiet. And just walking on that stage is me just feeling empowered, confident, and just full of strength, because you're standing there. And funny enough, nobody can touch you. You're just standing there, and they can look at you, and you just stand with pride. And that's just, that is my happy place for sure.
That's good. You've won, so speaking of competitions, you've won IFBB, Arnold, and Olympia Amateur Champion.
Yes, that was last year.
Yes,
Yep.
2015. So mentally, how do you prepare for that?
Every show is different, actually. One prep is never the same, and there's always obstacles with any prep or anything that you're dealing with. So when I went into the Arnold, I was dealing with my health issues, and then I went into the UK, and that is probably one of the craziest stories, actually, that I was supposed to be done competing for the year, and I got a call from my Canadian organization, and they said, Jill, we want you to compete for Canada at the Olympia. I said, sure, why not? Let's do it. And I asked where it was, and it happened to be Liverpool in England. And it actually ended up that I was divorced and I left England. And so 4 years later, I went back there, and I went back to my happy place, and I actually got to go back there on stage where I belong, and I ended up winning. So that was probably one of the proudest moments for me personally, rather than just winning.
Right. So we talked about you preparing mentally for competitions. So also, you're going to be in this rigorous meal prep. How is that for you, and what do you do as far as your meals?
I've been prepping for 4 years competing, but even past that, I've always eaten pretty clean and healthy. And for 3 years, I would cook my own food. So I would get up at 5 and put trays of chicken, trays of fish, whatever I had to eat, and bulk cook it for 3 days and then portion it out. And now, luckily enough, and there's meal prep services that are available. So I've actually liaised with somebody in Canada. Now they deliver my food twice a week, and I just send them exactly what I need, and it gets delivered to my door, which saves me time. And a lot of people say, you know, can I afford that? Can I do that? And I said, well, you just have to value your time, and value your time going to, you know, the grocery store. And if that outweighs what you can do outside of it, then it's worth it. And it's definitely worth it for me.
What is eating clean for you?
Eating clean for me is always about balance. And I really don't eat a lot of junk food and alcohol, but you know, making sure that I have my proteins, my carbs, and my fats. And I always liaise it with what am I training that day, or what are my goals for the week, you know, 2 weeks, 3 months. So I always try and look short projection and long projection and make sure that I don't gas myself out basically too. So
Okay. So what's your favorite cheat meal?
Funny
Because
enough,
you know, if you're eating clean, you gotta have that one
you
little
do.
meal.
You know, funny enough, like people say, you know, when you go for like a chocolate bar, and it's protein pancakes. So I do like a scoop of protein, egg whites and oats, and then I put like coconut flakes and almond butter and honey on it.
That would
and
not be my cheat meal, but
It's
okay.
amazing. And then I have a glass of ginger ale, and I'm just so happy. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but that's why you look amazing. So that's good. So speaking of looking amazing, what's your beauty must-have?
My beauty must-have is coconut oil. It is incredible. I use it on everything.
Okay.
It's you just buy a big jar, and I use it for my hair because obviously I'm blonde. It gets dry. I put it on my skin. You know, I use it for an exfoliator with coffee. I just, you obviously can eat it too. It's just it's a good staple item in the kitchen and the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
answering our questions.
Thank you.
And we are looking forward to seeing you so much more with Fit Tips. So we just want to say
honored
thank
to be
you.
with you guys. So thank you so much.